Well, hello everybody. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. I am in beautiful Puerto Escondida. It is hot, hot, hot. It is something like close to 90 degrees. So missing the storm that is hitting the Pacific Northwest and parts of the US right now. I guess there's a snowstorm happening. To be honest with you, it's hotter than I like. I did a remote last night, and I thought I would share it with you. So there's been some concerns. I just want to clarify a couple of things. One of the concerns, a lot of people have said, well, I think you're too sympathetic with Putin. When you're in a remote state, yes, you're supposed to completely become possessed by that person to an extent. But the good news is that if you're an HCRV practitioner, as you observe that, you should be able to be objective in the process. But at the same time, it's important to get into the mind of the person that you are remote viewing. My opinion doesn't really matter as a remote viewer, but I can tell you that objectively, there are trade wars going on between the United States, China, and Russia, and there are treaties about blocking trade of another country. So it will come up again, regardless of what I think or anybody else thinks. This is going to come up in the UN. This is going to come up with the World Trade Organization. It has to get worked out. Long after Putin is gone, issues of Russia's right to trade will come up. In terms of who destroyed the pipeline, that's another conversation, because whoever destroyed the pipeline created an environmental disaster. Was this the best way to put a stop to Putin? Some people would argue yes. Others would say, whether we like Putin or not, Russia has a right to trade, and there are other ways we could have removed Putin without this type of environmental disaster. Some people have argued that it's Russia that destroyed their own pipeline in order to justify the war. But others have argued that makes no sense, since they're spending millions of dollars to repair the pipeline. So the pipeline's going to be repaired and the trade is going to go out. So in the end, what was gained? We know what was lost because of the environmental impact. So all of those things have to be worked out through mediation. A lot of people are afraid because Xi has become much closer to Russia and is negotiating with Russia. People are afraid it's going to lead to World War III, etc. So I just went in last night to try and see what Xi was trying to do. And what Xi seems to want to do is negotiate a peace treaty to save face. And that makes sense to me, because China would understand the importance of not being humiliated when you have to admit that you've been defeated in war. And what it looks like objectively to me, again, this is just my opinion as the observer, is that we are not going to World War III. What we are going towards is the beginnings of what will be mediation between the West and the East for a organized withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine. But it has to be done in a way where Putin saves face, where Russia is not humiliated. And so I think Xi sees himself as the peacekeeper to cool the tensions. On the one hand, they have to publicly come out that we support Russia. We think Russia's complaints of dirty tricks by the West are valid. There need to be inquiries into whether or not international trade was violated. Let's cool our heads. But I think in the end, Xi sees himself as the peacemaker who is going to help save Putin's face so that he's not further humiliated as they withdraw, because they've lost. I can't see in any scenario where Russia would be winning. And given Xi's personality, he wants trade stable, particularly at this time in China's history where there's all kinds of economic turmoil. It just feels to me like Xi is trying to cool things, confirm that they are on Russia's side as we start to move towards mediation. It was necessary to get somebody to come in and referee and cool tensions between the West and Russia. And so it's being presented here in the West as something frightening, but from Xi's perspective, he's trying to cool heads and say, we are 100% support you, so therefore you trust me, Xi, when I tell you it's over, and give you a dignified out. And let's talk about future trade deals once you agree to listen to me and negotiate a withdrawal from Ukraine. So that's what I see. Thank you everyone for your support. Much love and blessings, and we'll see you next time. Be well. Bye-bye. Not saying I support Xi. I'm just saying that's where I think his head is at. All right, bye-bye.